Sagittarius, your December 2025 forecast is definitely blessed with some celestial magic. Venus, the planet of relating, has moved into your zodiac sign as November came to a close, and combining with the Sun, but also the thrust, energy and confidence of Mars, is giving you a lot of pushing forwards when it comes to expressing your individuality and your charisma. You may give yourself a glamorous makeover in the run-up to Christmas, even if you are a dedicated follower of fashion. But there could still be some worrying energy just in the background, which is coming from Mercury being locked away in your 12th house. Well, the good news is Mercury does rejoin your sign after its retrograde on the 11th and emerges from shadow on the 17th. You also have a new moon in your sign on the 20th. Now, new moons are the annual opportunity to set our intentions, but in your case, a sign which is very much to do with vigor, energy, enthusiasm, adventure, getting on the front foot. Well, that's what the new moon gives you the chance to do. It's just that as you come into this month, as Mars inches forwards, it does forge a complex right angle with Saturn and Neptune. And it's also going to be followed by the Sun and through that new moon in a right angle with them as well. And then Venus is also going to square off with them too. How do we deal with this? Well, I feel the clue comes as early as the 4th with the full moon. It's in your opposite sign. There may be somebody, and it could be someone in a more worldly situation, who just perhaps pushes back or reminds you that however focused you are on what's important to you, the individual, how they feel is something you need to stay mindful about. And the role of Saturn and Neptune, if we think about the big picture, Neptune right back 4 times to 2012, apart from its brief sojourn from the end of March, if you recall, this year into Aries, but it's returned back into the sign of Pisces. But back to 2012, it may have eroded some of your earlier emotional situation. It may have created some illusions. You may have quite literally suffered some leaks within your home, or perhaps your own emotional life at times has felt somewhat confusing. With Saturn joining up with Neptune in March 2003, any limitations in terms of space, which is always important to you, or around your immediate environment, whether it's neighbours or the actual location, or it's the energy within a property that you're living in. Mars has made you much more conscious of all of those things, or perhaps the demands of family, whether it's older people who need your support, or it's youngsters. I feel that part of you that's much more of a free spirit has been checked. It hasn't been so easygoing by any means. And of course, Uranus, the planet of disruption, has also been in the part of your scope to do with routines. Well, Uranus doesn't do routines. All Uranus does is push us to break down what used to work because we have to reinvent it in some kind of more novel and innovative way. So I don't think it's been particularly easy over the last couple of years broadly. And as you come into this month, yes, that part of you that can take the initiative, reach out to people, energize people, motivate people is very much to the fore. But just be aware of all the lessons you've learned about your more sensitive needs. That, for example, you have them. Because one of the parts of Sagittarius people that I really respect is your dynamism. So even if life's tough, you'll brush yourself down and go again on to the next new challenge. Your enthusiasm is infectious. But I think what Saturn and Neptune have been doing jointly is just reminding you, like everyone else, there is only so much in the tank, and you have to make sure that your inner world is working efficiently in order to manifest what you want to do more creatively. And that's really the story of this month. And if you can just accept the limitations you may have, or that some emotional involvements may not be perfect, there may be some family members who will frustrate you and so forth, I think it actually will give you a sense of peace, and you can work in a more balanced way through the energies. So the full moon that we have on the 4th could see someone being maybe a bit frustrated by something they point out. Try to receive the energy and not be defensive. Then on the 10th, Neptune goes direct. Always helpful when planets come out of their retrogrades. And then on the 11th, Mercury rejoining you. So something that perhaps has been a little bit of a worry can ease. But on the 15th, Mars moves into Capricorn. Mars here is going to be joined, of course, as usual, by the Sun on the winter solstice, and then Venus, the planet of money, self-worth, but also relationships, on the 24th. That collective towards the end of this month can actually help you to look back over these last couple of years and really evaluate what the foundation of your world is truly about. And it doesn't have to be measured on a material basis only. You know, we all want to make sure that we're paying the bills. We'd all like to have a surplus. We all like nice things. And you may go above and beyond to people please this month, which is a lovely thing to do. And I feel that you could actually enjoy some surprising financial fortune before the end of the year, which really brings a sense of well-being to your situation. And also you can really enjoy all the traditional fare of the season as we go into that last 10 days. But just be aware that the new moon in your sign on the 20th is challenged by Saturn and Neptune, and Venus is then challenged by them as well. So if you're trying to do something, let's say, in a more individual or independent way and not being mindful of how those closest to you feel, or perhaps you're doing something that pushes through some of your own emotional frailties or needs, that's not necessarily going to work out. And you could end up actually running out of steam quite quickly, almost like banging your toe as you're walking down the stairs. You're not going to break your leg, it's not going to stop you moving, but it can certainly make you sort of go ouch and really feel that there's some kind of resistance there. So Saturn can be about resistance, Neptune can be about dreams and confusion and what drains us. So there may be some things that don't let energy flow quite to the maximum as you would like. And of course you are at your best. I do have Mars, by the way, in Sagittarius. You're at your best when you're really going for it in the maximum way possible. But I think the lessons of the last couple of years is what you should hold very dearly to you, and that is that you're, like everyone else, have more tender needs, and that's okay. Don't judge yourself for that. And then in that latter part of the month, if you do get together with people and just share those simple but very lovely goodnesses that this time of the year can represent, that's a really lovely thing for you to do. If you've yet to watch your year 2026 deep dive forecast, please see the link below this video. If you've yet to order your personal forecast for year 2026, you can do so now. You'll also get your life roadmap report, which helps you to understand the patterns that are played out in your life so far. The combination of the two will help you to plan your moves in the months ahead so much more effectively. 30% off, free gift of your general, love, Chinese and Indian written forecast for each of the 12 signs. Please see the link below for more.